Tired of your current vehicle? Maybe looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle? Hey guys, it's Zach. Hayes Nissan of Rivergate is the best choice for your vehicle needs. Located at 1550 Gallatin Pike North in Madison, Hayes Nissan of Rivergate has been serving the Middle Tennessee community for over 3 decades. That gives you confidence that Hayes Nissan of Rivergate can find the perfect vehicle for your lifestyle and your budget. Their friendly and knowledgeable staff will make sure you are taken care of. I should know because I've seen it firsthand. Every vehicle I've purchased has been from Hayes Nissan of Rivergate, and I love the entire process. Now, I don't want you to forget about their award-winning parts and service department. It has everything you need to get you back on the road. Go visit them on the web at nissanofrivergate.com. They're open there 24/7, 365 days a year. Or give them a call at 615-865-7220. Again, that number is 615-865-7220. That's Hayes Nissan of Rivergate, where your dollar always goes farther.
Listen. You can't handle the truth.
It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare studios.
Just a bit outside.
It's the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call now on the Cure Hotline at 615-844-5600.
Oh, righty then.
Now the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
And a good Tuesday afternoon to you, and yes, it is time for the McFarland Show here on this rainy, wet, yucky.
It's going to get worse before it gets better, all right?
Well, here's what I was telling Devlin and Ted Johnson when I came in here. Because as you can see, as you can't see, I won't spoil it for all those folks watching us on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter, okay? Here in the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio.
That's right.
I was at Strike and Spare last night. I'll get to that in just a moment.
Okay.
I am hiding, just like maybe your folks do on television, hiding behind the desk, possibly in shorts. I may or may not have shorts on.
You may or may not.
Because when I was out earlier today, it was gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
I was running around this morning. I was doing some stuff, and it was beautiful.
Well, you should know by now what that means.
And when I go into the house to get ready to come in here, I clearly didn't look outside.
Yeah.
I never checked to see what was going on. I thought this front was supposed to be later today
and it is
tonight.
And what you missed is the severe part of the front is supposed to be later today / tonight and then to the overnight. But the initial rainstorm was going to happen, right now. So for those of you listening, if you're driving around Middle Tennessee, you're most likely experiencing rain. And if you are experiencing rain, this is not the storm that the weather folks have been warning about. This is not it.
This is possibly tornado stuff. Is that right?
Not for us. Okay. It's a possibility. Let me just first of all recognize where we are.
Just saying it needs to be on your radar. You just
it's
need
something
to be
you
aware.
need to think about for sure. Yeah, you need to be aware about it. But the biggest thing for us is the severe thunderstorm variety, strong wind gusts. But the tornado, it's not supposed to happen for us, but it certainly can. I'm not going to take it completely off the table. But the folks over to the west and the south of us is where it's northern Mississippi. Say a prayer for those folks tonight. They're the ones that could get the worst of this.
Yeah, just like I said, be aware.
Yeah.
Just be aware of what the weather could be. In fact, we failed to mention this yesterday on the show, and I regrettably, I'm going to say it now because I'm like, we should have brought this up. You really lived it. We both lived it. Because we were covering it.
Which part of this?
You were covering it much more in depth than me.
Yeah.
Yesterday was 1,000 days.
Yeah,
exactly 1,000 days from
the March tornadoes.
Yeah, when I was at
March
the Preds
3rd.
game.
Yeah.
And I walked to the car downtown in the garage. And little did I know my drive home, shortly after, got home.
Yeah.
All that would happen. And I woke up to the next day going,
man.
What? Now, we were aware that night.
Yeah.
Right? We were aware of it at Bridgestone Arena. We were aware of bad weather could be coming. But, that, again, where we live, it does happen a lot, right? Where, hey,
absolutely, yeah.
be aware. Let it be on your radar.
Yeah.
Make sure you're paying attention. And sometimes it happens, and sometimes it doesn't. More times than not, it doesn't, which is good.
Which is good,
But
yeah.
that night, I remember walking to the car, and I was like, it was actually calm. It was, nothing. And I was like, well, I know. And then by the, next day when I got up, I was like, whoa. But yesterday was 1,000 days since that tornado ripped, about a 50-mile stretch?
Oh, I forget the exact numbers, but it's
Maybe
more
longer,
than that. It was more than that
Yeah.
from one end of the state to the other. And what I unfortunately remember about that is not just the damage, but also the schools that were destroyed in that storm. And I know, Darren, you and the sports community over in Wilson County especially, deeply impacted by that. Donaldson Christian Academy, deeply impacted by that. West Wilson, Stoner Creek. As a matter of fact, they just opened up Stoner Creek earlier this week around that same mark. They're still working on West Wilson Middle right now. They're still rebuilding that school. So, I mean, it really, and of course, obviously what it did to the community in Putnam County is just truly devastating out that direction as well. So, the recovery efforts are still ongoing right now. Like, the scars from that storm are still with us.
But it is no longer nice out. It's pretty crappy out. So just be aware when you're out driving around. And if you're listening to us in your office or at home or what have you, and you haven't looked outside, or you're at home, just stay home because there's no reason to go out.
It's
right
pretty
now.
ugly.
Yeah, it's pretty ugly. So I mentioned last night I was at Strike and Spare in Hermitage. Cool event. A little bowling charity. I mean, you just talked about, we were talking about this off the air, and the history. We've been in this market. There was a whole lot of Nashville history in the building last night.
Yeah. Okay.
In fact, met Mike from Melrose, who calls.
Sure.
Yep, he was there. Of course, that's makes sense, right? His last name and his father, they kind of have something to do with Strike and Spare.
They do.
Or maybe a lot to do with Strike and Spare.
Yeah.
So,
and
that makes
sports
sense
history in this city, without question.
And sports history in this city.
Without question.
Yeah, but it was the who's who, man. There was a whole lot of Nashville history in that building last night.
Very cool.
TV personalities, to radio personalities, to basketball players and football players, and you name it.
Very cool.
They were there last night.
Very, very cool.
So Candace Story-Lee, Will Perdue was in the lane next to me.
There you go.
So Hope Hines and Rudy Kalis, talking about some
boy,
TV guys.
heavy hitters there.
Some legends right there.
Legends, without question.
Kelly Holcomb, who just joined us, by the way.
Absolutely.
He brought up his story that he told on here and how you just were just blown away. And I said, that was real, Kelly. That was real. Okay, Justin's mind blown.
No, I wanted to stop him, and for those who weren't with us.
He goes, Justin didn't believe me. I go, no, I don't think he did. And I told him, I was like, no, he's telling the truth.
It's not that I didn't. First of all, I have no reason not to believe Kelly Holcomb. Obviously, he's a man of deep experience in the National Football League and in the world of high school and college football. But the things he was saying, and all I just wanted to point out to Kelly is not that he was wrong or not that I didn't believe him. I just wanted to say, man, what you're saying doesn't make any sense. What you're saying doesn't make any sense.
Well, for people who are maybe listening right now and didn't hear that interview, what are you talking about? What did you?
I'm talking about the fact I asked Kelly very simply is about the transition or the opportunity to get from playing at a smaller school like Middle Tennessee State University, MTSU, and trying to get to the National Football League. That is not an easy thing to do in this day and age. Kelly Holcomb is one of the few players that can say, yeah, I did it. I got from MTSU and, all the way to the NFL. And he was saying that it's getting harder and harder to make a journey like that because so many things are about measurables, and sometimes it's just 10 to 15 pounds can be the difference between a Division I coach saying yay or nay on you and you going from a major program to a not-so-major program, or for somebody to pass on you, or you not to get the playing time you want. He described, I believe it was a tight end, Darren, was it? His friend, he talked about a friend of his that had a kid or a son who's a tight end, and, he was something like 6'3" and 220, but, the coach wanted, 225 or 230, and so he sent him out the door over 10 pounds, and the kid left from Florida and went to Michigan. And listen, at that level, if you can play at Florida, you can play at Michigan, right?
One would think.
I mean, who can't play at Florida? He can't play on this level, on that level of football. I mean, if this is where we're splitting hairs here, that means there's a lot of great talent that is sent out the door all the time to some of the lower, what we think of as lower schools or mid-majors, where there's probably some serious talent if given the right opportunity.
Yeah. Saw Kevin Stallings, his son Jacob Stallings there. Our boy Ray Dosky was there in the lane next to me.
Of course.
Let me tell you something about Ray. Ray throws the ball so hard.
Yeah.
I told him, I don't know how the pins are not disintegrating.
Yeah. I bowl like
But
that, too.
Ray did not have the scores he was looking for.
The power game wasn't working for Ray.
The power game was not working. It looks impressive.
Yeah. But the pins don't fall.
Just don't fall. I don't know why. They were not.
It's too
falling
much power
for Ray.
concentrated in one area. Because I bowl like this too. This is why I know that this happens. Because my dad is much more finesse. And I'm the type of bowler that I will throw the ball and the ball will travel 10 feet in the air.
And then it drops.
It hits the ground. And then it flies down the lane.
Right.
And it destroys about 6 pins.
Yeah. That's Ray was hoping for 6 in a lot of those first throws. But, yeah, so Ray did not. Now, you want to speak of finesse?
Yeah. Who's got the finesse game?
Ooh. And by the way, I even brought up to him what I said on the air yesterday. I threw myself under the bus.
Okay.
When I used the Joe Fisher reference for Michigan. Joe Fisher, by the way, can bowl.
Well,
Joe Fisher can bowl.
That
He's
would
good.
make sense a little bit. Joe Fisher probably was around a lot of championship bowling. Vanderbilt has had a good bowling program over the years.
Well, yeah. Well, how does that translate to Joe Fisher?
Well,
just because he was the voice?
Yeah, you probably around the program. You probably pick up a few things.
Okay, well, he was around the football program
no.
too.
You're not out
the
there.
basketball program.
You're not there on the court.
Well, he is. He's calling the game on the court for basketball. Was he dunking?
It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing. No, here you can actually approach and get out there and do a couple things. Basketball, no, you're not going out there and doing that. Yeah, the game isn't level. The game isn't the same. There's nobody 7-2 out there at the bowling.
Like Will Purdue?
Like Will Purdue.
Who was bowling. He was 2 lanes next to me. Was he 7-1?
I think he's 7-1, if I can recall.
I told him, I was like, when you release the ball, can't you just kind of reach out and knock a couple pins down? I mean, with that stretch, with those legs and, that height.
With the height, he's probably got an aerial game.
Yeah.
He could probably see the top of the pins.
Can you not throw the ball almost right where you want it to be just because you can release it halfway down the lane?
That's true. He's got a much longer stride, I would imagine, there on the release. Yeah. That probably would work well for him.
Saw Neil O'Donnell there.
Wow. I didn't know Neil was in town. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Neil's been in town the whole time.
I didn't know Neil was living here. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
He sells turf, man.
Okay.
Turf.
No, I got you.
Not grass.
No, I got you.
Turf.
I picked it up.
Yeah, he was there.
I picked it up.
Pat Sperduto was in the house.
I would buy some turf from Neil. That makes sense.
Well,
Neil
a lot of
O'Donnell
people have. Look,
came to sell me some turf. If I was looking for some turf and Neil O'Donnell came and told me this is the good, I would say Neil O'Donnell knows what good turf. I would take his word for it.
Well, apparently it's worked over the years because he's been doing it for a long time.
It's super believable. If Neil O'Donnell comes in, if I'm looking for turf, now not everybody's in the field for turf, but if you're looking for turf, if Neil O'Donnell came and told me this here is some good turf, I would go, well, it's got to be some good turf. Neil O'Donnell came and told me this is good turf. So how you going to tell Neil O'Donnell? Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's kind of hard, right?
Yeah. Nah, Neil. I'm gonna go.
You don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna go with the Bermuda grass now, Neil. Now I'm not dealing with you.
Frank in Smyrna was in the house.
Good deal.
He was in the lane next to me.
All right.
So true story. Last frame, his last shot. I'm done. Okay. Remember, he's in the lane next to me.
Yes.
First game, I bowled a 117.
It's not good.
Not proud.
No, it's not good.
By the way, I showed up to Strike and Spare in Hermitage with my own ball. So people were already like, whoa. And I
You
said,
bowled
yeah.
a 117.
Right. So at the end, I
It's a
said,
whole lot
as
of
you
air
can
balls
tell,
there.
it was a prop. Okay, it was just for, the
So a whole lot
purposes
of
of
empty
just
frames.
looking and going and judging, going, wow, D-Mac must be good. No.
It's a whole lot of empty
No.
frames.
By the way, in a case too. I mean, a case
In a
in the ball.
case.
Didn't have my own shoes, but yeah, in the bag, my own bag, and a bowl.
Did it have your name on it?
It did not.
Okay.
Didn't say Uncle Buck or Uncle
Okay.
Darren. Yeah, no,
Did the ball have your name on it?
no.
No. Okay.
No.
Well, at least
I
get that.
got this. This is
Okay.
how I got it.
Okay.
I was in a Preds and Pens event
I
many
remember
years
those.
ago.
Yes.
And they gave it to me. They let me go in there in the shop, size up the ball, my hands. They fitted the ball for me and made me a ball for me.
Very cool.
How do you turn that down?
No,
right?
you can't.
You can't.
You have to take that.
Like, how many times do you ever get that opportunity?
You
so
don't.
I jumped on it.
Yeah.
I was like, yes, okay, I'll take my
You
own.
and Nash in there picking
bowling
out
ball.
bowling balls. Absolutely.
So I finished with a 117. Frank in Smyrna is on his last roll.
Okay.
His second roll, he's got one pin left. If he knocks it down, he gets the extra roll.
All right.
He's got a 116.
Ooh.
I've got a 117. I
Oh.
said, Frank, all the pressure in the world now is on you. We're all going to be watching because you must knock down that pin over in the corner to get that extra roll to beat me.
Okay.
He missed.
He messed up.
So I beat Frank in Smyrna.
So
I'm
Frank,
just saying. See, that's what athletes deal with. That's real pressure right
Yeah.
there. See? That's real pressure. I was like, we're all watching you now.
So Frank will end up getting cut by the Titans the next day.
I'm just saying that is
If this
real
the NFL,
sports pressure.
Frank would be cut this morning. Is what I'm guessing here.
Shudak hasn't been cut yet, so
Well,
I mean it's still early. It's Tuesday.
as you know, as they told us earlier in the week, I think they like Shudak.
Well, I was just saying, Vrabel pretty much glowed about it.
Yeah.
He didn't seem like a guy who's going to get cut at all.
I think they see a future with him there.
I
So
guess. Missing 30-something yarders? Okay.
And listen,
Sure.
listen.
Sure,
They
you see a future? Okay.
Listen, man, they got to do something. This is what they're doing.
So it was a really nice night. And I know I left out. Pete Weber was there. Terry Crisp was there. I mean, man, it was legit. It was legit. So Greg Pogue, of course, was in the house, but didn't bowl.
Yeah.
He had Zach from Afternoon Stretch bowling for him.
Yes, he said he had a proxy.
I don't know who has, like, okay, it's one thing to have a designated driver.
Of course.
It's a designated bowler.
Have you met Greg?
Well, yes, yes. Who has a designated bowler?
Again, have you met Greg? Have you met Greg Pogue?
We know the answer.
Okay, then why are you asking? I don't understand why you're asking the question. If you've met Greg, then clearly you would understand that this is the kind of individual who would have a designated bowler. I mean, that's fine, just the kind of person Greg is. That's fine.
So we've got Coach Stock. Rick Stockstill is set to join us here on the other side.
Boy.
So it was U.S. 2-0 over.
They took a goal.
So what happened? So obviously
was
a goal.
offsides.
Okay. So
Offsides.
they called offsides. All right. I was going to say right before we hit the airwaves, it was 2-0.
Yeah.
U.S. It's 1-0, and they are in minute. Was it 56? About to hit 56.
About the 55 and a half. Yeah.
USA. They have to win.
They gotta win.
They have to win.
They got to win, or their season's over, or they're back on the flight, long flight back to the United States tonight.
A tie, they go. Okay, got to win.
Coming back
Gotta
to
win.
the United States, get to the next round of 16. That's what they're trying to do now.
Our next guest, they needed to win to get a bowl bid, and they did the last 2 weeks, and they have a
Last 2
bowl
weeks,
bid.
yes.
Yeah, they have a bowl bid. So we're going to talk to Rick Stockstill on the other side here on the McFarland Show, WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text STAPLE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text STAPLE to 321-321. That's STAPLE to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Today on Hey Culligan, soft water, cleaner environment. What do you say, Greg?
Hey Culligan, are you saying if I have a Culligan high-efficiency water softener, I'm also helping the environment?
It sounds like you're saying it, Greg, and yes, you are, because with the Culligan high-efficiency water softener, you'll use less detergent, soap, and harsh chemicals, and that's good for the planet.
Now you're saying it.
You bet I am, Greg. Soft water and a cleaner environment is already on the way. Let us help you out with a free in-home water test from a local Culligan water expert at Culligan.com.
Finding the right person for the job isn't easy. Just ask someone who hired a lounge singer to be their office receptionist.
Hello, this is Mickey Marquis, and you've reached the office of Doug & Associates. Thank you very much. Catch me Tuesday nights at the Hotel Johnson. Hello?
But if you've got an insurance question, you can always count on your local Geico agent. They can bundle your policies, which could save you hundreds.
Doug & Associates, this is Mickey Marquis. Hello?
For expert help with all your insurance needs, visit geico.com/local today.
From the big game to the big dance, Bar Lines at the Omni Nashville Hotel downtown is your game day and watch party headquarters. Don't worry about entertaining guests and trying to feed everyone. Sit back, relax, cheer on your team, and let the Bar Lines staff take care of you. Grab a Bar Lines signature cocktail and enjoy some wicked deviled eggs. Or a Bar Lines double stack and finish it off with some Jack and Coke chocolate cake. Bust your belly and your bracket at Bar Lines. Located in the Omni Nashville Hotel, 5th Avenue, downtown.
It's a Bill King Show.
Lake Norman Buckeye. Bill, will Saban actually coach that 24 quarterback? At some point, he's got to hang it up. Nothing lasts forever. I want to repeat, Nick Saban is doing his favorite thing right now. He's not trying to get to a moment in life to where he can go sit on the beach.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Back here on the McFarland Show, Darren and Justin here with you on this rainy Tuesday afternoon, but it's probably sunny down in Murfreesboro, where our next guest is. Or at least they'll be going to the sun.
But say they're going to the sun.
They're going to
and
the
making
sun.
the return to the sun, actually.
Yeah. Well, that's right.
Man.
But I was just trying to paint the picture like, hey, maybe it's sunny and beautiful down in the borough right now. Probably not. I think everybody's getting rained on right now.
Close to it.
But Rick Stockstill is on the line with us. Coach Stock, how the heck are we?
I'm great, and you're right. It is raining here, so it's raining everywhere, I guess, in the area. But I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Well, hopefully it won't be raining where you're going here pretty soon, right?
No, I hope that big eye is out and the clouds are dry, and we're excited about the opportunity to go out there. And these players have done a phenomenal job this year and have earned this opportunity, and really proud of them and for them and happy for them.
You obviously, Rick, had a couple big wins early on in the season where you beat Colorado State out there in Collins, Colorado at their place. You obviously went down to Coral Gables and gave it to the Canes, and you beat TSU in between after suffering the first loss of the season. And then you kind of went in a little bit of a lull. Obviously, you were getting a lot of talk at that point. But then things turned around down the stretch, and you got it back together and finished strong. So it sounds like this season kind of had some ebbs and flows to it, didn't it?
It doesn't every season, and it doesn't matter. There's going to be adversity in every year, every game, and you've got to be mentally and physically tough to overcome it, and that's what this team did. And, yeah, we lost the first game, and, we lost so many players from the portal to the portal last year. We lost 4 starting offensive linemen that should have been coming back. And, it takes time. You're not going to replace those guys. We had one starting in the SEC, one starting in the AAC, had a corner starting in the ACC, had another offensive lineman starting in Conference USA. So we lost some good players to the portal. and it takes time. And like you said, we had a great win there, Miami and Colorado State, and then we got beat. It's a one-score game to San Antonio with 3 or 4 minutes left in the game, and they win the conference. Or they're playing for the conference championship. Lost to Western Kentucky, lost to UAB. Really good teams. But we kept battling, and then we go out and beat a really good UTEP team, and to win 4 out of our last 5. So, it's I'm proud of these guys. Yeah, you wish you won them all. I mean, that's always the goal, but in reality, right now there's only one team or 2 teams that can say that. And, so I'm proud of these guys. I'm happy for them, and they fought their guts out this year and competed their tail off and had a heck of a dadgum good year.
I do want to, and forgive me for using this example. It's just, I get it. It's in my small little fishbowl, but I can relate at a very, very, very smaller level than you. But I do, since you brought it up, I do want to go there. So I've been in the travel ball, baseball world with my son as the head coach. And look, while we don't have a portal, there's always a portal there, right? Because people can pick up and leave whenever they want, just like teams can move on. And some lesser, teams that maybe don't have a roster full of great players, when they have that great player, a lot of times their parents are always looking for a more competitive team, right? Well, you guys you're fighting the same battles, right, with the big boy schools, and they're always looking to pluck from you guys. And so it's not just you. I get it. Everybody's dealing with this. But how difficult is that, Rick? Because you and your staff are basically constantly having to re-recruit even your own players, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's at this level, it's really harder than, the Power Fives, because they've all got better facilities. They've all got NIL money, that we as Group of 5, we can't hang with them guys. And, the Alabamas, the Florida States, the Tennessees of the world, they're signing guys that are 6'5", 300. They're ready-made. We sign guys that are 6'3", 270, 265, and you spend 2 years developing them, putting weight on them. Hopefully they'll sprout an inch or 2, and now in their 3rd year they're playing for you. They're 6'5", 300, and, they up and leave you, and go to, like I said, we had one starting in the SEC, the AAC, the ACC. So that's a frustrating part, because we spend so much time developing them, and then somebody, can offer more than what we can. And a lot of times, we had guys that stayed and we had guys that left. And we're no different. Middle Tennessee's no different than anybody else in the Group of 5. We all deal with this.
Rick Stock's still on the line with us, and that has to be frustrating. It's tough to win, period. I could tell the emotions with you after that last win. You know how hard it is to win. You've been at this for a long time, and it gets harder every year with all the challenges that come with it, some of the things that we're talking about. But it's even harder to win on the road. You had some successes on the road, including finishing out your season down in Miami with that win over FIU. What was it about this team that was able for you guys to have success on the road this year?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always said when you go on the road, you got to pack an extra, suitcase of toughness, because you got to be mentally tough, to deal with fans. You got to be mentally tough to handle the travel, sleeping in a different hotel, all the stuff being a visitor. That's why they say, the home field advantage. There's a reason why they say that. So I think it starts with that, and so you got to be tough and be able to overcome the adversity that you're going to face. And we got in that game. I mean, go back to what you said, how hard it is to win. And you can look at teams all across the country. UCF's won 10 games or whatever it was. They're playing South Florida, who's won 1 game, and they got to throw a touchdown pass in the last 20 seconds of the game to win. FIU's fighting. They're, UTEP's fighting to get bowl eligible. Everybody's fighting to, for something. And when people say these early bowl games are meaningless, that's a fan saying that. That's not a player. You go ask any player on any college team if a bowl is meaningless, and they'll all look you in the eye and tell you no. It doesn't. This Hawaii Bowl, this is the greatest bowl in the world to us. And last year, Bahamas Bowl, we were the first bowl game. It was the greatest bowl in the world. Bowls mean something, and kids fight for it because that's one of their goals every year. So for the people out there that say, all these early bowls don't mean anything, they just wait for, the Final Four bowls, they don't understand there's 365 days in a year to get to play 13 days. So it's 250-some days, 350-some days that you're either lifting weights or practicing to play 13 games. So they mean something, and you're going to get your opponent's best effort. It doesn't matter what their record is. You're going to get their best effort, and you got to play well to win in today's world of college football.
Coach, it's an honor to talk to you here. I wanted to ask you about, you talked about the grind and the 350-something days that you are not playing an actual football game, and how much time and effort that your guys put into the work, and how much time and effort, not just your players, Coach, and you know this, but your staff and the other support systems that you guys have to make MTSU football happen. And now here we are, you get to go to places like the Bahamas and Hawaii for a bowl game. How do you keep a group of young men, 18 to 22, focused enough to play a football game safely and soundly in a place like the Bahamas or Hawaii?
Just like last year, told them, hey, you're going to a beautiful place, but you're going there to play and win a football game. And we're going to have fun. You're going to enjoy it because they've earned that right, and I guarantee you probably 100%, at least 99% of this team has never been to Hawaii. And I want them to enjoy it. I want them to go to Pearl Harbor and, every December 7th when they start talking about it, they can say, I was there. I saw the oil popping up from the USS Arizona. I want them to be able to say that and experience it, but also understand, the goal is to stay on the field. Just stay on the field. That's what I talk to them all the time. At the end of the game, you be the team that's still on the field, holding up that trophy. So, we'll go there with a great sense of appreciation and wanting to enjoy the Hawaiian culture and experience everything, but also know that there's a time for work, there's a time for play, and you've got to be mature enough. You got to be tough enough. You got to be mentally strong enough to understand and be able to separate that. But these players, these coaches have earned it, and they deserve it. And what a great opportunity for them.
Coach, you in this particular era of football that you're in now, of course, you've been doing this for a long time here. You know that there was a lot of guys who were not going to get the opportunity to go on to the NFL. Some of your seniors, this was going to be the last football game they ever played possibly in their entire lives. But that is changing more and more rapidly with the expansion of more and more professional football leagues like the USFL and like the XFL. How do you give advice now to some of your young men who maybe want to explore playing football a little bit longer even after their time is up there in Murfreesboro?
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, I'll always get all the seniors and I'll tell them, I say, hey, the NFL just called and they said they don't want any of y'all. So enjoy this year. Cherish the moments. Cherish the locker room. Cherish the brotherhood of each other. And play this year like it's the last time you'll ever play football. And, yeah, I say that facetiously, and they know I am with the NFL calling. But and that's the same thing, now. Most of this team won't play professionally. You know that. Yes, but some of them will. And just like a high school kid, I say this all the time. If I'm a high school player, whether I'm 6'5", 300 or 5'5", 100. If you want to play college football, there's a place for you. There's a level for you. It may be Division I, it may be 1AA, it may be NAIA, but there's a place for you if you want to play, and just be honest and realistic with your talent level. And if you want to play professional football, just because the NFL says no, that doesn't mean you have to stop. Try Canada. Try the XFL now, like you said, the USFL. Those leagues are providing, more opportunities for kids that, may not be good enough right now to play in the NFL. They go, you've heard all the stories of guys going to the to CFL and getting a chance in the NFL, or the, USFL days, Kurt Warner, all that kind of stuff.
Sure, the arena ball. Yes, sir.
If it's your passion and you want to keep playing, find a way. And but be honest and realistic with yourself, and don't be that guy that says, I'm going to play in the NFL, and that's all I want. And then they don't draft you or they don't take you as a free agent. Don't be that guy that keeps practicing and training and all that for 2 or 3 or 4 years, just hoping on the NFL. Because, heck,
yeah.
they don't take you the first year, they dang sure ain't taking you 3 years later when you've just been laid up on the couch. So, here's an opportunity to go play in the XFL or the USFL and continue to develop your game and have stuff on tape that NFL people can look at.
Yeah. Speaking of the NFL, earlier this year, you guys retired the number of Kevin Byard out there. What does Kevin Byard continue to mean to MTSU to this very moment, even several years now after the last time he walked on that football field with cleats on, at least?
No, just the respect and appreciation that I have for KB, that this university, this program has for him. We're lucky, that he's 30 minutes down the road with the Titans, because we hear and see him more often. We got other guys like Reed Blankenship got an interception the other night with the Eagles, but he's in Philadelphia, but you don't hear about him as much. We got other guys, Charvarius Ward out there, with the 49ers, having a great year, having a great career so far. Guys like that, but because KB is so close from a proximity standpoint, you hear more about him. He's able to come, over here more often than a Charvarius Ward who's out in San Francisco. So, but, he means the world to me, personally and also professionally. I love coaching him, and now I love our relationship that we have now as former coach, former player. I can, just sit back with, a proud, stuck-out chest, admiring him and how he carries his life, how family man he is, and then obviously the football speaks for itself.
Coach, I've got to ask you about, and in my other job, sir, I work at Fox 17, and we play your sound bites throughout the week as we preview the game sometimes. And I remember when you guys were getting ready to play Michigan a few years ago, and you gave this speech during the press conference that stays with me now about not backing down to people who you believe are or people believe are superior to you, and the fact that you don't go out there with the mindset of losing football games at any point. And I thought about that after you guys went out and beat Miami. And I said, that mindset that Coach was talking about goes a long way as I watch these guys run Miami out of the building. Can you just give me a sneak peek into that mindset when you go into a football game and everybody thinks this team is going to be better than you because of the label, essentially, that they've got on the side of their helmets?
100%. And, as their coach, as their leader, and I say it all the time, I believe in them. We get beat, And I was telling them first thing, like, we got to do this better. We didn't do this. We got to do this. But I believe in you. I believe in you individually and collectively as a team that we're a good team. And we'll continue to work and prove it. And just like the Miami game, I told them, I said, we're just as good as they are. I said, Ray Lewis and Michael Irvin, them dudes, they ain't running out of smoke. They ain't coming out that tunnel. So this is who you're playing. And be confident that you're going to win. And we went down there, and the first thing I said afterwards was, it's so good, it's so satisfying to do something that nobody thinks you can do. And nobody thought we could beat Miami, 25-point dogs. Nobody thinks you can beat them, but when you go down there and do it and prove people wrong, it's just a make you feel good moment. And I said some stuff after that game that that you shouldn't say as a coach. Okay. I said we kicked their tail and all that stuff. We kicked their tail. But, you're supposed to take the high road and not say that. But I wanted our players to know how much I believed in them and how confident I was in them that we would kick their tail. And just, it doesn't matter who you play. You got a chance. And when you play some of those guys, you almost got to play perfect. Like Michigan, we'd have had to play almost perfect and get a couple breaks. Well, we didn't play perfect, and we didn't get any breaks. Miami, we played pretty close to perfect, and we created some breaks. So I think it's just a challenge that most of these guys here are underdogs. I've been an underdog all my life. One school recruited me. I go to work every day with something to prove. And that's the way these players are. Most of them is Middle Tennessee or nothing, and so they got a chip on their shoulder that they want to prove that they're just as good as those guys at Miami, those guys at Syracuse, those guys at Missouri, those guys at Georgia Tech and Maryland when we beat them. And they go out and try to prove it every day.
Hawaii Bowl, San Diego State, Christmas Eve. Do you know when you're going out yet?
Yeah, so we'll leave the 19th. I think it's that Monday. Okay. We'll go out then.
We'll try to catch up with you as you continue to prepare for that before you guys head out. Thanks for doing this, Coach. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, Coach.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Just holler at me anytime. Shoot, I'll talk to you every day if you want me to.
All right, that is Rick Stockstill.
Thank you, Coach.
December 19th, I think, is when they're going to head.
Yes. Heading out west,
to
way
the
west.
Aloha State.
Way west. Yeah.
Way west to take on San Diego State. Good stuff from him. All right, we'll step aside. Come back with more of the McFarland Show here on WNSR.
Hey guys, it's Zach. Give the gift of play with the team at Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville. Stop in and stock up on a huge selection of new and gently used gear and equipment. Maybe you need some cash for the holidays. If you have too many bikes, inline skates, hockey, or other sports gear that you don't use anymore or it doesn't fit, get cash on the spot for your unused gear at Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville. They have the trained staff to help you sell your gear and help you find the perfect gift for the holidays, like a new baseball bat, lacrosse stick, yoga and workout gear, or equipment for a home gym. Or maybe you're like me and you love perusing golf clubs. Go check out what they have in their used inventory. I'm always in the Hendersonville store checking out their used golf clubs. So get cash for your holiday gifts when you sell your gear at Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville. And make sure to tell them Zach from Nashville Sports Radio sent you. That's Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville.
Hey Nashville, Ray here. Many of us suffer with anxiety when going to the dentist. You guys need to go check out my amazing friends over at Bite Dentistry. Bite Dentistry is where my family goes for all our dental care. Their mission is to help patients breathe better, smile bigger, and live longer by offering a comprehensive selection of services and total dental care for every member of your family. Bite Dentistry is the only dentist in town trained and certified to offer the Vivos method that helps with people who grind their teeth at night or snore that causes sleep apnea. What's great about the Vivos methods is that it's provided for both kids and adults. They also work with a company called Guard Lab, which creates custom mouth guards, which are the same mouth guards used by professional football players. Located at 3212 West End Avenue, Suite 301, Nashville, you can set up an appointment by calling them at 615-866-2129. That's 615-866-2129. 888-848-2129 and follow them on social media and online at bitedds.com. Again, that's bitedds.com.
Whoa, are you kidding me?
There's plenty of game left. Just chill out. If you're too riled up, you won't ever get to sleep tonight.
How can I chill out when I have to put up with this every single week?
Oh, and he gets picked off. Interception.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
Okay, that's enough. Here, try these cannabis products from Lab Canna. And these heightened Delta 8 gummies and Karma Calming Caramels will help put you in a better state of mind.
Whether you win or lose, make every game day better with cannabis products from Lab Canna. Learn more today at labcanna.com.
Five-state forecast. Your exclusive national sports radio, WNSR Sky Scan forecast. Today, sunshine mixing with and giving way to clouds. Thunderstorms are likely this afternoon and evening. We could see severe weather as well. Today's high 70. Then showers overnight with a low of 44. Sunny skies Wednesday. Utilizing the resources of the Weatherbug Network and National Sports Radio, I'm WNSR's meteorologist, Jim Rinaldi.
Sports Radio, WNSR.
Good stuff from Rick Stockstill. Congratulations to the Blue Raiders, MTSU. Heading to Hawaii to take on San Diego State on Christmas Eve. Back here on the McFarland Show on this, it is raining sideways.
Yeah.
At least here at the Strike and Spare Family Fun Center studio. I mean, not in here. I mean, outside the window.
Yes.
Like, that would be weird. We got
that would be
electronics
problematic.
And, you know, wires and computers, and that would be bad.
Oh, well, we can.
It'd be very bad.
We can deal with that. That's not a problem. Yeah, trust me.
But
I've
yeah,
been
outside,
you know.
it's raining sideways. Bill Keene will join us at 3 o'clock. We're going to talk about all the happenings going on in college football. It is wild and wacky. The rankings will come out tonight, so we'll get his thoughts on that. Right now, we go to the Cure Hotline, 615-844-5600. Nate is standing by from Columbia. Nate, what's up?
What's up, guys? It's very fitting that y'all have Rick Stockstill on today because I think it was this past weekend I saw one of my friends tweet something out about MTSU, and I agree with him. I am an MTSU grad twice from undergrad and graduate school, and I think it was 2012 when MTSU went to the Armed Forces Bowl to play Navy, and that was so much fun. I wish that the team was good enough or gets a draw lucky enough not to go somewhere like Hawaii, because I miss going to bowl games and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I would love to go to Hawaii, but if I can't even help with the collectives, how am I going to pay for going to Hawaii?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Yeah.
But
I get you.
I mean,
We'd all like to, right? We'd like to go cover it. We'd like to go cover them in Hawaii.
We can get a credential.
But the last time I checked, I don't think Ted and Adam Johnson are going to send us there.
No.
Bahamas would be nice, too. We'd cover the Bahamas Bowl.
We can get a credential.
Yeah, we can get a credential.
They'll let us right in.
I just don't think they're going to let us go do that, but I'm with you.
Hotel and the flight may be something different.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, this obviously is not the first time MTSU has played in Hawaii. They've played, what, like 5 times in the past since like 20?
I don't think so. I think this is their second time. They played in Hawaii in 2016.
Yeah.
Was the last time.
The problem is, Nate, they've been to other tropical locations.
They've been to the Bahamas twice.
They may remind you of Hawaii. That's why it may feel like that.
Yeah.
Okay. But, yeah, I mean, it's a little, I guess, depressing. Even though they are going to a bowl game, and not all teams can say that, it's a little depressing when you can't go and have fun with the team and everything. So.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man. That makes sense. I get it.
Hey, Darren, I know you missed this past weekend, but are you going to the game tonight?
I am.
Okay, cool. Well, maybe I'll see you unless you get to be in the Lexus Lounge.
No, actually, no. I'm not going to be in the Lexus. I'm actually going to sit in the press box, which is somewhere I haven't been in probably 15 years in the press box.
Okay. Truth, I haven't either. It's been about that long.
It's been about 15 years since I've been in the press box.
Time.
So, yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, y'all have a great day, guys. Stay safe with the weather.
Thank you, Nate.
Thank you, Nate. Appreciate it.
Let's go back to the Cure Hotline. Bill is up in Hendersonville. Bill, what's up?
Yeah.
Hey there, fellas. Good afternoon.
Hey, Bill.
Good afternoon.
I'll tell you that as of right now, I'm heading northbound on 65, and right now it is not raining.
Okay.
But it
Really?
has been raining.
Okay.
Got a little pocket there.
Just to let you know about that right now.
Must be south of downtown. It must be headed your way. It's heading your way.
Oh, well, hopefully I'll beat the hard stuff home.
Let's hope so.
But when did you guys say yesterday that the new stadium would be ready?
The new stadium scheduled to be open in 2026.
Well, that's
2026.
That's
okay.
They hope.
They hope. That's the schedule.
I mean,
he asked for the schedule.
Yeah. No, we had. I'm just going.
Yeah.
You weren't here.
No, I was not here.
We
for
had
that.
Burke Nihill on.
Yes.
And I flat out asked him, and yes, that is the goal. But I also was kind of trying to read between the lines, and it seems like don't. Well, he's not willing to go there.
Yeah.
But don't be surprised if it's 2027 either.
Well, okay. Well, that doesn't really couch my question any different. Can you guys sitting there today tell me what that Titans team will look like in 5 years?
Wow.
Listen.
And
okay.
I'm curious about what you guys at least think, especially at quarterback, when you start thinking about, I'm sure Derrick Henry won't be around, Ryan Tannehill probably won't be around, and I just want to know what you guys think about 5 years down the road or 4 years down the road when the Titans move into their new digs. And I appreciate it.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Bill. Thank you for the phone call.
It's
Let's
an
do this.
interesting question.
Let's step away. Final break, come back, and answer Bill's question on the other side.
Okay.
Okay, let's do that. As you listen to the McFarland Show, WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Nashville's first curling venue is here at T-Line Nashville. Come check out T-Line Nashville and experience the world's fastest growing winter sport today. Curling is a fun and simple sport that's a perfect outing for friends, corporate events, families, or parties. T-Line also has classic bowling and modern bowling mini games. With over 20 HD TVs, you can come watch your favorite teams and some of the best food and drinks here in Nashville in the large bar and grill area. They also have an outdoor area with a fire pit, and you can't forget the live music. T-Line Nashville is a one-stop shop for a great night out. Located at 106 Duluth Avenue and online at tlinenash.com. You can book your party now or give them a call at 615-439-1024. That's 615-439-1024. And make sure you give them a follow on Instagram and Facebook at T-Line Nash for all the news, events, and updates. T-Line Nashville. Nashville's first curling venue is here. Located at 5410 Murfreesboro Road in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers is one-stop shopping for all your liquor, beer, and wine needs and has been a multiple winner annually in the Best of Rutherford County voting for Best Liquor Store and Top Wine Shop. Featuring the lowest prices, the best customer service with unsurpassed knowledge, City Slickers offers the largest craft beer selection in Rutherford and southeastern Davidson counties and has beer on tap at its Growler filling station. City Slickers also sells mixers, sodas, snacks, tobacco products, and the Tennessee Lottery, and can place special orders and assist with all your events and even wedding planning. Make sure you follow City Slickers on all their social media or just give them a call at 615-280-7469. That's 615-280-7469. Located in the heart of Laverne, City Slickers.
Lieutenant, can you tell us what happened today?
Our officers responded to a crash on I-40 westbound this morning. The driver of a pickup truck lost control of the vehicle, veered left, and went into a ditch.
911, what's your emergency?
We've been in a crash. Please send someone. My fiancé is hurt.
A front seat passenger was wearing a seatbelt. She survived without injury. The driver was not wearing a seatbelt and was ejected from the truck. He died at the scene.
Law enforcement writes tickets to save lives. Brought to you by the Tennessee Highway Safety Office.
Hey, it's Sammy Kincaid, host of Power Hour with Sammy Kincaid.
Every Saturday morning from 9 to 10, listen in as I highlight women in sports from high school to the pros, athletes and administrators. And you know what? Let's talk some ball with women covering the game across the country. Power Hour with Sammy Kincaid is every Saturday morning. Listen in on Nashville Sports Radio from 9 to 10 a.m.
Bill Keenan, the On Deck Circle. He'll join us coming up at 3 o'clock. We'll talk all things college football with him. Predators tonight at home against the Anaheim Ducks. We'll get into that a little bit later in the program. So Bill in Hendersonville said, okay, well, what do you think the roster's going to look like?
Oh.
And let's go with 5 years.
Okay.
Just for fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so you want to go back in time 5 years ago? You want to go over the Titans roster?
Just
to kind of get a feel of what 5 years looks like on a roster in the NFL?
Kevin Byard and Derrick Henry, probably the only two guys that were there. Everybody else was not there 5 years ago, I would venture to think.
Derrick Henry was not a starter. So
yeah, well, he was he was on the team.
I know.
Yeah.
So quarterback was Marcus Mariota.
Yeah.
Okay. The backup was Matt Castle.
Boy.
Yep. Starting running back was DeMarco Murray.
Mm-hmm.
He's retired.
Yes.
Corey Davis was on that roster. He's on another team. Rashard Matthews, he's retired.
Yes.
Jonnu Smith, he's on another team.
Mm-hmm.
Delaney Walker, he's retired.
Yes.
Taylor Lewan is retired. He's been retired
he's
for years.
Not.
He's been retired for years.
That's
what? No?
Inaccurate.
No?
No.
Okay. Well, he plays a couple games a year. Sorry. Part-time player. How about that?
Okay. Well.
Quentin Spain.
Wow. There's a name.
Was that a little too much on Lewan? A little too much?
Listen,
maybe?
you can say whatever you want about that,
Possibly.
the 6'6" man from Michigan. You say whatever you want about him.
Quentin Spain? No. Ben Jones was the starting center. How about that?
I did not know Ben had been here that long.
Yeah.
Okay.
The right guard was Josh Klein. Everybody remembers Josh Klein. Remember that?
Absolutely.
Remember that signing?
Real fan favorite.
Oh, boy. Jack Conklin was the starting right tackle. On the defensive side of the ball, let's get to those starters. Daquan Jones, not Naquan. They've got Naquan right now. They don't have
not
Daquan.
Daquan Jones.
That was Daquan.
Okay.
They have Naquan right now.
Good deal.
Sylvester Williams.
Wow.
Yeah. Jarrell Casey, he's retired.
Yeah.
Derek Morgan, he's retired.
Yes.
Wesley Woodyard, he's retired.
Yeah.
Avery Williamson, is he retired? I think so.
I think he is.
Yeah. Brian Arakpo, he's retired. Adoree Jackson,
he's playing.
He's been all right with the Giants. Been all right.
He's playing.
Logan Ryan.
Didn't
he just retire?
I don't know if Logan Ryan's playing or not, to be honest with you.
Jonathan Cyprian, I know he's retired.
He's retired.
Kevin Byard.
Yes.
Or is it Kevin Byard? It is. It's Kevin Byard.
Yeah.
I don't know why people say Byard.
Okay.
But they do. Kevin Dodd was on that roster. He's been retired for a long, long time.
Yes.
Because he was a rookie that year.
And the head coach?
Head coach 5 years ago would have been, Malarkey. That was Malarkey.
It was Mike Malarkey.
Yeah, that was the last year of Mike Malarkey.
Yeah.
That was the team that went to the playoffs.
Yes.
Lost to the Chiefs. No, they beat the Chiefs.
They
lost
Chiefs.
to the Patriots.
Yes.
So there you go. That's what 5 years ago looks like. Eric Decker was a wide receiver on that roster.
Mm-hmm. 5 years, is an eternity in the National Football League. What is easier, what to me is easier to try to figure out is whether or not we're still going to have the same head coach and general manager in 5 years. And normally what kind of happens is...
By the way, Ryan Suckup was the kicker. He's still kicking.
He is?
Yeah.
Down in Tampa, right?
Yes, correct.
All right, got a Super Bowl ring down there.
Yes, he did.
Good for him. I'm not sure. It was good for him.
He's a good dude.
Good for him.
Good dude.
The head coach and the GM to me is more interesting than anything else about whether or not they're still going to be here. They're both young guys, very much in their prime. They could do this conceivably another 10 to 15 years.
Do you think John Robinson? Do you think? I don't. I'm just asking.
I think so.
Okay. I'm just curious because I do wonder if these big misses continue, will he be able to, as long as they're winning?
Who's going to fire him?
I'm just asking the question.
Okay. I mean, we can ask the questions. I'm just saying, the only people I know that could fire John Robinson in that organization are Burke Nihill and Amy Adams Strunk. And I don't think either one of them is anywhere close to the neighborhood of firing him.
All right. Hour
That's
number 2, Bill Keene. That's next.
On air and online, Sports Radio WNSR, Brentwood, Nashville.
ABC News, I'm Rena Roy. Congress is on board to intervene to keep union rail workers from going on strike next week. Talks broke down over pay and sick days. A freight stoppage could deliver a blow to the fragile U.S. economy. Americans shopped online like never before on Cyber Monday, even with inflation. Adobe Analytics shows consumers spent $11.3 billion yesterday, up 5.8% from last year. ABC's Rebecca Jarvis explains the numbers.
Much of it is due to inflation, which rose 7.7% in October. Even so, Americans are still spending a growing number of cases in money. It's money that they don't have. Credit card debt is increasing, up 15% year over year, the largest increase in 20 years. Americans are also saving less than they were before the pandemic.
Today, the Senate will take up the Marriage Equality Act that passed in the House before the Thanksgiving recess. The U.S. is taking on Iran at the World Cup. This is ABC News.
At Fisher Investments, we do things differently, and other money managers don't understand why.
Because our way works great for us.
But it may not work for your clients. That's why Fisher Investments is a fiduciary, obligated to put clients first. It's the highest standard for a financial advisor.
So, what do you provide? Cookie-cutter portfolios like the rest of us?
No cookie-cutter portfolios here. Fisher Investments tailors portfolios to meet each client's goals and needs.
But you do sell investments that earn you high commissions, right? And make commissions when you make trades for your clients?
No, Fisher Investments doesn't sell any commission investment products, and we never earn commissions on trades.
So what's in it for you?
Fisher Investments fees are structured so we do better when our clients do better. When it comes to helping clients achieve a comfortable retirement, we're clearly different. Visit FisherInvestments.com to find out why investors like you switch to us. Fisher Investments, clearly different money management.
Investments in securities involve the risk of loss.
Are you looking for a trusted partner who knows AT&T business inside and out? ABS Communications is an organization built on the premise that telecom solutions and working with companies like AT&T can often be complicated, and the customer needs someone to help them navigate through these complexities. They make complex simple. Whether it's helping maintain, manage, or secure your business, ABS Communications is here to help with all your business telecom and mobility needs. Their business was built with the goal of simplifying the process of connectivity for the customer and establishing a long-term relationship of trust through transparency and accountability. ABS Communications is a top 5 AT&T authorized agent with over 200 years of AT&T technical experience. You can call Mark and the gang at 615-349-8588, or you can visit their website at abscomm.net. And remember, mention the McFarland Show to ABS, and you could get up to $250 in a Visa gift card for new ABS business customers.
Listen, you can't handle the truth. It's about to go off. Live from the WNSR Strike and Spare studios.
Just a bit outside.
Now back to the McFarland Show with Darren McFarland and Fox 17's Justin McFarland.
Show me the money!
Call now on the Cure Hotline at 615-844-5600.
Oh, righty there.
Now the McFarland Show with Darren and Justin.
Second hour McFarland Show here on this Tuesday afternoon. Hope everybody's having a great day and staying dry. Twitter just about blew up.
USA!
Because
USA!
In the final minutes, Walker Zimmerman saved US's behind. I mean, saved it.
There's grown men on the ground crying. It's an emotional scene. But at the end of it, United States won Iran nil.
So they move on out of the group stage.
Group of 16 now.
How about that?
Later this weekend.
Final 16 for the U.S. Like I said, Twitter is going nuts with the 1-0 victory. Johnny, a resident listener in Vancouver, British Columbia, tweeted us at the very beginning of the show and said, hey, guys, it was good luck yesterday watching the show live and Portugal advancing. So he said, I'm going to watch it live again, the show live today while watching U.S. and see if they can advance. Well, Johnny, 2 days in a row in Vancouver, you were a good luck charm, my friend.
Beautiful.
You were a good luck charm.
Excellent and outstanding. So great job for Team USA. It's unknown exactly who they're going to be moving on to play. But, it's going to be I think this is good for all soccer fans everywhere, especially here in the United States. But to keep us engaged in this in the World Cup. I know people are going to watch anyway, but if they want to keep the U.S. audience, you need to probably keep the team with the red, white, and blue in.
Is this good for Fox, you think?
Yeah, I mean, for our viewership, yeah. I mean,
so?
for people, I mean, listen, you're at a period here where as long as you stay away from the football weekends, from Sundays mainly, you got a pretty good audience here. If you want to watch some sports action, the college football season winding down, not nearly as many games on, this is a good time if you're the World Cup.
This is a good time to switch gears and talk a little college football with Bill Is Keen. That's how you can find him on Twitter, and he now joins us here on the McFarland Show.
I'm sure Bill was watching the World Cup. Bill, you were watching the World Cup, weren't you, sir?
No, I'm watering my rock garden in the rain.
I was going to say, you need to water anything right now? Let's get to the madness that is college football. You told us for weeks that Hugh Freeze would, your description, let's go over this, would crawl on his belly through broken glass to take his...
What was the rest of it? What was the rest of it?
What was the rest of it?
Let you then bathe him in acid. That was the
rest. I didn't. Well, I don't remember that description on our show. Maybe that was on your show. I don't know.
Remember that part.
So you went an extra level on your show.
Okay.
Okay. You can do that in mornings. Afternoon, we're a little bit more family friendly.
Acid,
Yeah, mornings you can take an acid bath.
Very descriptive.
Yeah. So, can you confirm? Did Hugh Freeze crawl through broken glass to get to Auburn and have his presser today?
Well, he was from the neck down. He had clothes. I couldn't tell. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think they made him do that.
Well, what do you think of that hire?
If we want to win some ball games, and we want a guy who's shown you he can do this, and all those boxes, I hate that metaphor, but the boxes you check, can recruit, yes. Can take the recruit and develop that recruit, yes. Can put players in the right spots to win, yes. All of that works. Now, there's controversy there, but you knew that. And I'm a big Bruce Pearl guy. I've always known Bruce. I like him a lot. Bruce wasn't perfect either. Now, Bruce was guilty of having a barbecue on a Saturday and lying about it. I've heard of worse crimes than that, right? But I think it's a good hire unless you don't think a coach should be able to do what he did, meaning in his private life.
But you don't say. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but just listening to that, you don't seem overly thrilled with it. Is that fair or unfair?
No. I think it's a good hire.
Okay.
I do. I mean, look, you can go hire the next guy that you're projecting, or you can hire somebody who you've seen do it.
Okay.
And if I'm Auburn, I think you just did that, right? Harson's a pretty good coach. He's not a good fit. There's the problem. This is a fit. And if you want to go fight Georgia and Alabama every day, you got to have somebody who's willing to get dirty, get in the trenches, and fight. And this guy is that guy.
Mm-hmm.
So Sunday, sitting in the press box at the Titans-Bengals game, because it shocked me, and I did the dog with the hearing the weird noise, head tilt. What? And I just blurted it out loud, and everybody basically snapped their neck around. I'm surprised somebody didn't hurt themselves. I was like, Luke Fickell to Wisconsin? What? Did you have the same reaction, or did you see this coming?
A little bit. Luke, let me give you the back. He's an Ohio guy. He's a Buckeye. He's probably, I don't know if you guys know this, the best heavyweight wrestler in the history of that state. Guy is a killer. I mean, and a tough guy coach. Not a real giggly guy, not going to joke around with people. And 2 jobs that he wanted. Ohio State, well, he already had that job in 2011 when Tressel got fired, and they elevated him, and it was a bad year. He learned on the job, and it was a bad year. Really not his fault. So I don't think he can ever revisit that as the head coach. The other one was Notre Dame. He wanted the Notre Dame job last year. Marcus Freeman obviously got that job. That's it. All these rumors about coming to down south, and he'd never do that. That's not his thing. He's a Midwest guy. I'm not shocked. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you I thought, hey, he's about to go to Wisconsin. But if you think about it, he's done all he can do at Cincinnati. Got him to the playoffs. They're about to join the Big 12. That's great. But Wisconsin's down a little bit right now. And his style, culturally, guys, again, big offensive lineman, not real sexy in the passing game. Punch people in the mouth until they give up. That's Wisconsin. So it's a good hire. It is and let's also face it, the Big Ten West is up for grabs. Purdue just won it by default, basically.
Yep.
They're about to get killed. So you can go to Wisconsin and reclaim that division, I think, pretty easily.
So who's the next Brian Kelly, Butch Jones, Luke Fickell at Cincinnati?
Goodness. Oh, boy. I'm not sure what the plan. You know what, though? And I know people make fun, but Butch Jones was successful there. All those guys, everybody they hire seems to do well. Now, Tubbs, my boy, Tom Tuberville did not do well there. That crashed and burned on him. But he took that job because he did not want to be in Lubbock, Texas another day.
Yeah.
That's the reason why he got out of there. But most everybody, I mean, their hitting percentage is really good.
So you don't. I mean, I'm curious. I'm very curious to see where they turn because they've been a nice little cradle, right?
They
for
have.
Guys moving on to big boy jobs from Cincinnati, and they don't want to take a step back. They want to keep it at the level they've had it at. So I'll be curious to see where that goes.
You can win there.
Yeah,
we know you can win there.
Yeah, no doubt. So I guess it's official now as we sit here and speak with you that Lane Kiffin and Ole Miss have agreed on a new contract. He's going to be making, I guess, a little bit right at $9 million or north of $9 million. I guess the ink is dried. Surprise, not surprise. What do you make of the Lane train staying in Oxford, at least for the time being?
He had me a little bipolar, obviously, because I never thought he would leave, just for the reasons I've listed, and I won't waste our time with that again. But there was a couple of days there a week ago where I think he was close. If not, maybe mentally divorcing Ole Miss. And I think his kids probably got to him. And I just think there's a comfort level there. He's not staying at Ole Miss forever. We know that. And maybe he talked to Nick Saban. Maybe Nick said, just chill down, because I know Nick loves him. And there's some talk that maybe someday he gets that call, whenever that day is. So in the end, I'm not surprised. But I got to tell you, about a week ago, and I think it's around the time you and I, guys, we talked, I was a little wishy-washy on it. I thought because I was talking to people who heretofore said no way, and they were saying, we think he's gone.
Yeah, we remember that conversation, no doubt. So David Shaw, remember when he was the hot ticket item for several years in that window? I don't remember if it was 3, 4, 5 years where David Shaw, anytime there was an opening, what about David Shaw at Stanford?
Every opening.
Now David Shaw is out at Stanford. They lose to BYU, and he says, peace out. I'm out of here. What's next for David Shaw?
Any number of things. TV, broadcasting, joining an NFL staff, probably counting his money a bit. He's a good coach. You can't maintain. Harbaugh built that. And it's hard to maintain it. He came in and maintained it, but you cannot sustain maintaining it, if that makes sense. And at some point, it's like Notre Dame. It's incredibly hard to recruit to, and you're going to lose market share eventually. And that was that. You could see them the last 3-4 years eroding. And the other thing is Now you're going to be dealing with a Southern Cal that's got their brand back. Mm-hmm. And not that Southern Cal and Stanford are each other's arch enemies, but that West Coast area, Southern Cal is back. Now, they may not be Reggie Bush, Matt Leinart back, but Caleb Williams is the best player in the country. And he's got another year. And Oregon's not going anywhere. Washington just went 10-2. Utah is tough. So I think he just said, I fought the good fight. Let's go. Let's move on. I'll say this, though, guys. He's a West Coast guy. So I would be shocked if he left that region to work.
Derek Mason will be on their list. I don't believe he's going to get it, even though I liked Derek when he was here, got to know him a bit. Yeah. Who's a real contender to take over that job at Stanford?
It's such a unique fit. You can't go to the administration and say, I've got a guy who's borderline, let him in. Yeah. They'll slam the door in your face, right? Yep. That ain't happening.
Nope.
I've got a lot of favorites. I think that's going to be a tough sell. Now, obviously, if you're looking for that opportunity and you haven't had it yet, you jump all over that, no matter what. Bare minimum, because of what they're going to pay you after they fire you, right? But that's a tough gig, guys. And I don't know if stylistically you have to take on one form of your style, but the Harbaugh / then David Shaw style was tough. Again, I use that a lot, but line up and punch people. They didn't out-athlete you with receivers going vertical, but they were tough, both sides of the line of scrimmage, and maybe somebody that fits that description.
Bill, what do you make of Matt Rule at Nebraska? Is this simply a money deal, or is this a cultural fit?
I'm shocked. Now, that's the one where and again, guys, we've talked about it, but I will also admit he took Temple from nowhere to prominence, left to go to Baylor sight unseen to clean up a huge mess, did that too. Nebraska's historically at least a better job than those two. Now, it hasn't been much on the field in the last 15, 20 years other than Bo Pelini a couple, but it's a really good hire. It's a fantastic hire. He's the guy that fixes things. And I think he can go in there. Now, he's going to have to start making Nebraska interesting again for recruits. In Nebraska, the last 20 years has become really more eye-opening, geographically landlocked. It's not a real sexy destination. And you can't sell recruits today about Dr. Tom winning 3 of the last 4 national championships on his way out. That was 25 years ago. Yeah, you might as well say some guy in the 1800s.
Yes, sir.
So that's a tough gig, but that is a hell of a hire.
Now, Bill, everything looks calm on the college football front as far as coaches and the carousel is concerned right now. But, Bill, you know like I do, the NFL has not begun letting people go yet. And there's going to be 3 to 4 jobs that opens up in the NFL, if not 5 to 6, as happens every year. We know Indianapolis is already open-ish. We think Arizona's going to open. I think, Pete Carroll could hang it up at any given moment and open up in Seattle. And then these owners go pick college guys, which then creates upheaval all of a sudden in January. So who are some of the guys that you think are on NFL radars that we are thinking of right now? Because college folks tend to think of just college. What other program would he go to? Not even thinking that the NFL would come get their guy.
Not Matt Campbell anymore.
That's true.
No, take him. Look, Ryan Day, I've always thought is a pro guy. Now, I don't think he's going to pack it up, but I can tell you guys, if I wanted to do a show the last 2 days and only let Buckeye fans call, I could have done it and just sat there and napped. They are beyond angry. You don't go 11-1, and it's to Michigan. I don't care if 11-1 is a fantastic record. That ain't good.
45-5, Bill. 45-5.
Oh, no, I agree, but I'm telling you, and I know they don't speak for Gene Smith, the AD, but there might not be another job in America where you're judged on that game, that one game like that rivalry is. Remember, Harbaugh was 0-5 until a year ago. in that, and now he's 2-5, and he's physically whipping them. They outscored him 28-3 in the second half. So back to Ryan Day, though. I think he's a pro guy. I don't think now's the time, but I wouldn't be surprised if someday he gets that opportunity.
Ryan Day. There's a couple of jobs, and one in particular, Bill, that intrigues me in the NFL, and that is the job in Kansas City with Andy Reid. If Andy Reid decides, and Andy Reid, and I put Andy Reid and Pete Carroll in the same category in that these are two guys who've won a Super Bowl. They could legit hang it up right now and not have anything to say to anybody. And the jobs and the opportunity to coach Patrick Mahomes is enough to pull almost anybody at that particular moment. I mean, wouldn't all bets be off at that particular moment, no matter what college job you have, for the opportunity to go coach a talent like Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah, but I don't think Kansas. Nick Saban's not going.
Yeah,
I mean, and not that I don't know that Dabo Swinney, I don't think would leave. Brian Kelly's not leaving LSU. So yes, it's an incredibly sexy job with a generational talent at quarterback. Probably, I just don't know if anybody in the college game outside of a couple of guys that would be worth or worthy of that job. I mean, that's a totally different. Guys, you know this. The college job and the pro job, those are not related, really, other than there's a football involved. I mean, literally, it's not the same gig.
But every year somebody comes and does it, Bill. Every single year you get a guy that makes the move. An owner takes a bite every year.
I don't think Kansas City's an old veteran group, though, man. I don't know that they do that. Fair
enough. I wanted to ask you about what's going on over at Tennessee and what we're seeing out of Joe Milton, and whether or not this is planting a seed in the heads of fans that if they even see Joe Milton's shadow coming up in the spring or the fall, that there may not be some turning stomachs up on Rocky Top after seeing him continue to miss receivers on Saturday night. Can you just talk to me about the quarterback future there at Tennessee now?
They want him to be the guy, the conduit to Nico Iamaleava, who's a midtermer. And if he plays well, the longer you can let Nico Iamaleava marinate, right, get better, grow, the better it's going to be. This kid is a spectacular talent, but true freshman. But I don't see it. I think they may have to go in the portal and have some kind of bridge, get a quarterback to come in and take it, because Joe Milton can't take a beach ball, let it go, and let gravity land it in water. We know this. And I told you guys a week or two ago, I said, okay, I'm going to give him a chance. I know what we've seen, and what did we see the other night? Other than that first Jalen Hyatt throw, dude's overthrowing people 10 yards.
Yep.
I mean,
same thing we've watched for
how many
years now?
He knows it.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you're 6'5", 250, maybe you just can't finesse the ball. I don't know, but he can't do it.
Okay, last thing, Bill. 5, 6, and 7 tonight are whom?
Ohio State, Alabama, Tennessee.
Oh, that'll have Tennessee fans going nuts.
Oh, yeah. They jumped me about that this morning. I didn't even want to go there. It's not relevant right now, and they wore me out.
Yeah, I was going to say. And that's what they're all going to be watching. They're going to be watching just to see, is Alabama in front of them, or are they in front of Alabama? And I suspect you're going to be right, and they're going to go nuts. You're right.
I think so, yeah.
Bill, appreciate it as always.
Thanks,
Stay
guys.
dry. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, Bill.
Okay.
Bill Keene, Monday through Friday, right here on these airwaves, starting at 6 a.m., 6 to 9 o'clock. You can hear him tomorrow morning. He didn't throw the acid part on our show.
I don't remember acid being involved.
He threw
I
that
remember
in
broken glass,
and
crawling.
Yeah,
but I don't remember acid.
An acid? What are you saying? Acid bath?
Yeah.
Bathe
them in acid.
Golly,
that's rough.
Man, that is brutal. All right.
Yeah.
We'll step aside, come back. Cure Hotline is open the rest of the hour. 615-844-5600 is how you can get in touch with us. We'll take your phone calls. We'll continue the discussion on the other side as you listen to the McFarland Show, WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text STAPLE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text STAPLE to 321-321. That's STAPLE to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
If you need a staycation or planning a trip to Music City, stay at Bento Living Chestnut Hill. Voted the best boutique hotel in the city by the Nashville Scene. Bento Living is located on the edge of bustling downtown and boasts on-site dining, shopping, live entertainment on the rooftop, and free fitness classes. Come experience Nashville like a local. Visit bentochestnuthill.com to book your Music City vacation today.
With 13 locations nationally, including Smyrna, Star Leasing Company is a semi-trailer one-stop shop and the perfect place to build a career as a semi-trailer mechanic. Seeking candidates with all levels of experience, Star Leasing Company has a semi-trailer technician trainee program with sign-on and quarterly bonuses and other opportunities such as $1,000 for having a yearly physical. The package also includes 401k with company match, health, dental, and vision insurance, competitive pay with weekly paychecks, and paid holidays and time off. Star Leasing Company, not your typical semi-trailer leasing company. Visit starleasing.com to learn more.
Get all your NASCAR news every weekday right here on The Final Lap throughout the offseason. Hey, it's Kerry Murphy. This week is Champions Week. We've got stuff going on from Nashville. We've got Jeff Burton and Dale Earnhardt Jr. still talking about Ross Chastain and the move at Martinsville. And Roger Penske is getting a big award. So grab all the latest NASCAR news, driver interviews, stats, and info every single weekday right here. Like us at Facebook.com/The Final Lap. We'd appreciate it every single weekday right here.
On the McFarland Show on this Tuesday. Stay dry. Nate tweeting at us. He believes next up is the Netherlands for USA. USA. And he is correct. That'll be 9 o'clock in the morning on Saturday.
Okay.
U.S. and Netherlands. 9 o'clock Saturday morning. Then followed by the Big 12 title game, then the SEC title game, then the Big 10 title game, and the ACC title game. So we got a busy Saturday.
Boy, there's a lot going on there.
Lot going on.
A lot to be decided.
Yeah. Hey, guess who's on the hotline? Guess who wants to talk?
Who on the hotline?
Remember we talked about him in the first segment.
We talked about a lot of people.
Talk about real pressure. Bowling.
Oh.
Real pressure.
Is this Mr. Frank?
Yeah, Frank is in Smyrna, listening on 107.9. Frank, what's up?
Darren, how you doing?
I was explaining what happened in that first frame, or not first frame, first game where you had one bowl left. You needed a spare to beat me.
You know, Darren, it's like the type kickers the last few years. You had one job. I had one job, and I didn't get it done.
And no wind, by the way. There was no wind in Strike and Spare last night.
No, it was dead calm in there. A little warm, though. Little.
Actually, there was a lot of hot air going on in there, wasn't there?
I bet there was.
That's why I was sweating.
Yes.
It just didn't happen. But overall, other than that, one little snafu, I was proud of my performance. I broke 100, not once but twice, which is
you did
really good for me.
You did good.
I got home and told my wife, and she didn't believe me.
By the way, speaking of, and I know nobody cares listening today, but did you have the same troubles getting home on 24? Did you have to navigate?
No, sir. That's called Google Maps.
Good for you.
I've sat on I-24 enough at night after Predator games over the last few years while they're getting the never-ending construction done out there in the Hickory Hollow area.
Yep.
And I happened to look on Google Maps before I ever left the parking lot and saw that, and just
good for you.
Went over the dam and back through to the ball area.
Months left to go.
It's a veteran move, Frank and Smyrna. Veteran move.
Yeah.
Ding dong me. Nope. Not me.
Yeah, I got so. Well, I would say that we got to worry about that tonight after the Predators game, but.
Yep. I'll be wazing tonight. Trust me.
Yeah. Same here. And, but anyway, Justin, I think we need to get you to participate next year. Assuming it happens at the charity bowling event.
I will come.
Would you? Because people were asking, and I said, "Man, he's looking at the back of his eyelids right now."
I was incredibly asleep at the time when all of this happened, for sure. But if I can make a time or make a way in my schedule, of course, I'll try to come out and contribute. If I can do it early enough, I have to get one of the early slots for me because I got to be up really early.
Yeah, but the real party crew was last night in the late slot.
Yeah, then I'm just not going to see them. I'll take a picture or something. I'm just not going to make it.
So
and not continue to work. But thank you, Frank. I appreciate the fact that I was missed. Means a lot.
Yeah. We might could even so we could do about a 6 p.m. start. That's what we need to do. Just for
squeeze me in there real quick because I got other obligations and stuff.
Yeah, that's understandable. I mean, I've got a friend that's in AM news business in Illinois, so he I understand what you guys go through. You guys are unique.
That's one way to say it. It's one way to say it.
Do it. I put it that way. I couldn't do it. But, Tony in Nolensville, if you're listening, I'm sure you were there last night. Sorry I missed you. So, it was a who's who there last night. It was a lot of fun, and I was just honored that that I was invited to participate. So it was a good time, and Joe Fisher is a good bowler. Former voice of Vanderbilt University, really good bowler. It was a who's who, as Darren says it there. It was nice seeing former Vanderbilt basketball players that I grew up watching against or playing summer camp ball against and watching in the late 80s. It was nice to see those guys there last night. Got to talk to Jacob Stallings a few minutes. Told him how good an Atlanta Braves uniform would look on him. He did not seem to be too upset by those statements. So maybe there's hope there.
Okay.
I talked a little baseball for a minute, and it was just a good night, and it was even fun hanging out with Ray Dofsky. Just throwing the bowling ball. Justin, you should see him throw. He looks like he is. He looks like he is a relief pitcher coming in the bullpen, and he's just.
I told you. Did I not tell you?
And he doesn't know where he's going.
Yeah.
I mean, he was firing it down that lane.
With authority.
No, it was clocked at 104, but doesn't hit anything.
With authority.
Yeah.
He wants the pins to know who sent them.
Yeah.
Right, and into the gutter half the time, but that's neither here nor there. But no, it was a good night, and Darren, it was a lot of fun. We need to do that. Sometime again, and I'm gonna practice. So
there's a strike and spare in Smyrna, so we'll have to do that.
Yeah,
there is. It's a nice facility. I've been there a couple times, so we'll need to get together and go practice. So I might put on a better performance than last night. Although I was pretty happy with it.
Yeah, it was fun. It was all for a great cause, and it was a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Hey, appreciate the phone call, Frank.
Yep.
Thanks, Frank.
Yep. Thanks. Go Preds tonight.
Yes,
we need
sir.
a win.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. They are going to have the game. So that was made. That was the announcement made. Sean Henry conducted a press conference. Was trying to get him on today. Couldn't make the schedule work, but hopefully he'll join us tomorrow. Hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
He'll join us tomorrow. Let's go to, let's see. Well, he brought up Tony in Nolensville. Let's go and find out. I didn't see Tony there either. I don't think he was there. Did I miss something? Tony, what's up?
Good afternoon, guys. And yes, I was there, but Darren, my puppies, the little things that carry me around, these old legs, they got to hurting a little bit, and I scooted out there about 7:45.
Oh,
and I was trying to hang in there, and I did not bowl at all. I was there as a meet and greet. Was enjoying meeting and talking to everybody and anybody, and it was. But I went there, and as I told George, I made my little donation part and did what I was supposed to do, and enjoyed all festivities. I am sorry I missed you. I did see Ray. I talked to Ray, met his son. Enjoyed talking to his son a little bit there.
Right.
And but just the meet and greet with everybody, and just the list is just unbelievable. And I'll tell you, I know you said the party group was on at 8. There was a good party group on at 6 too.
Oh, I know. I was just trying to prop up our group. Both groups were great.
Right. Had a good conversation with Candace and a lot of the Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt was represented well, but then when you say that, so many other groups are represented well. Titan players and the list is endless. You get excited talking about it. So, but that was good. And like you say, Frank, I'm sorry I missed you, buddy, but it was always good hearing Frank come on. And Frank, you're talking about a passionate fan of whatever group or whatever team he's following. You got you a passionate fan right there.
There's no doubt about that.
And that is true.
If you don't know that, you haven't met Frank.
Well, I'm talking about all of them. I'm talking about Frank, too.
No, but you're right.
But,
you're right.
There's something I meant to bring up to you yesterday, and I'm sorry I missed it, but your pick last week, taking Michigan, awesome.
Well, I get to brag about it on Thursday.
Good job, man.
Get to brag on Thursday. Yep.
Yes, you do. You get a lot of rights on that. But guys, as far as
and I'm in first. First place. Sorry, I'm sorry. I had a cough. My bad.
These coaching changes, and now Deion's come out talking about the Colorado stuff, and then you've got the coach leaving Cincinnati, Fickle, and then wasn't it Fickle?
Yep.
Now he's going to Wisconsin, and the domino effects. It's every year it happens. And it's just amazing what names pop out and what names who have solidified a program and put them on the map all of a sudden thinks, well, I've done my part here. Time to scoot off and get my job for the next 4, 5, 6 years. So it's going to be fun to see how all of them plays out. And with Hugh Freeze down at Auburn, I personally think it's a good hire. I've told you before, I've got connections still down there at Auburn. And you've had a lot of people wanting Cadillac. You had a lot of people wanting Kiffin. You've got a lot of people that didn't want Freeze. I don't know. Y'all tell me, what are they going to have to do to pull the bands together and have everybody pulling the rope in the same direction? I'm going to hang out and listen.
Okay, Tony.
And but I wanted to talk to you today.
Okay, appreciate it, Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
We don't have enough hours or shows to fix that problem.
Fixing Auburn football.
When would we get done with that? About July 4th of 2023? When would we finish up that?
It would take us that long just to go through the history of how we got here.
Get the Auburn fan base and the donors and everybody on the same page? Is that what he's asking?
I think so.
What?
You've got a group down there, and let me try to be brief here. You got a group down there who think two very different things. And that is the biggest issue. You got one group down there who thinks they are a national powerhouse, every bit as good as Alabama, and should beat and compete with Alabama every single year. Then you've got another group down there that is totally fine beating Alabama once every 4 years, and thinks that if you can occasionally win 9 or 10 games, you'll be all right down there at Auburn. And that their priority should be, elsewhere, basketball, or, it's an agricultural school, So, how about some of the academic things? And because of that, you're constantly having a butting of heads and also a butting of philosophy, and that's how you end up going around and round and round from Tommy Tupperville to, Brian Harsin, Gene Chizik, and how does this keep happening? That's how this continues to happen. And they are constantly in Alabama's. They're constantly in Alabama's shadow too, and that doesn't help at all. There's an inferiority complex they've got going on that they cannot solve.
Yeah, I think the answer is it'll never be normal.
No,
I think that's probably the answer.
No, it's gonna be rough.
It's always gonna be a little bit off the rails, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's never going to be on the rails completely.
No, I mean they could have Heisman Trophy. I mean they did. They had Heisman Trophy winners.
They won national championship
before Alabama
Heisman
did.
Trophy
They had the Heisman Trophy before Alabama did.
Yep.
They won national championship. Does Alabama have a Bo Jackson, a Frank Thomas, and a Charles Barkley? No, they do not. No, they do not. Not like that.
Cam Newton.
Not like that. They don't.
Yep.
They've got great, the football clearly, but they don't have the other things that I just mentioned. They don't have that at Alabama. Not good enough.
Although Alabama, nice win over North Carolina on Sunday.
I saw that. Thrilling game.
Yeah.
Great game.
Crazy
Great
finish.
game. 4 overtimes.
Back to the Cure Hotline. Let's go to Mike in Melrose. Mike, what's up?
Well, it was good to see everybody last night. Just a quick correction, though. We do not. My dad does not own one in Smyrna. That's
He doesn't?
Stars and,
that's
Stars and Strikes.
Oh, you're right.
So.
Whoops. That was a whoopsie.
Mike, it has a similar look, though, Mike. I'm not going to lie to you. It has a similar look, Mike. They're borrowing, I think.
We do have one. We do have one in Murfreesboro that Philip Cox, who does the commercial on here, he runs that one. He was there last night making the food. We do have a very nice one in Murfreesboro. It's in the mall, and it has Circus World with roller skating and laser tag. So anyway,
All right.
Not saying not to go the other place, but that's not ours.
No, I'm glad you corrected that. You're 100% right. That's on.
And there is another one in Smyrna that's they host a state meets every year, the bowling championship.
Okay.
But anyway, I was one asking about Justin. I figured you were probably in bed. I'm guessing you have to be at the station at 2 or 3 in the morning.
That is correct, sir.
So I do watch you. I record you. I don't watch it at 4, but I do.
Thank you so much, sir. No, I mean, and yes, I have to be to work at 2 or 3 in the morning, and the day starts much earlier than that. I mean, that's what time I'm getting to work, which means I need to be awake way before then. So yeah, it helps if I can get into bed.
Do you get to nap in before the show here?
Occasionally. It depends on what's going on in life. Darren, I walk in here sometimes with the TV version on, but the TV stuff's still on. Darren doesn't like that, but, occasionally I have to come in here like that.
Well, I know my mom's upset, though, because we're showing the soccer game on your channel because she couldn't watch Judge Judy. But
yeah, that's we get a lot of phone calls about that. Yes, we do.
Yeah. Well, my dad wasn't able to make it last night because he was with Mom. They celebrated their 63rd wedding anniversary, so they were down the road at Opryland watching the Oak Ridge Boys. So anyway, hopefully he'll be able to make it next year.
Cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
Hey,
congrats to them.
What's going to happen, do you think? I guess the rankings come out tonight. If USC were to lose, is it going to be Alabama or Ohio State? I'll get off, and y'all have a good day.
All right. Thank you, Mike.
Jeez.
Let's talk about that on the other side. It's a good question.
Take a break.
It's a good question. We'll do that on the other side here on this Tuesday afternoon as you listen to the McFarland Show here on WNSR, Nashville Sports Radio.
Are you tired of your current vehicle? Maybe looking for a new or pre-owned vehicle? Hey guys, it's Zach. Hayes Nissan of Rivergate is the best choice for your vehicle needs. Located at 1550 Gallatin Pike North in Madison, Hayes Nissan of Rivergate has been serving the Middle Tennessee community for over 3 decades. That gives you confidence that Hayes Nissan of Rivergate can find the perfect vehicle for your lifestyle and your budget. Their friendly and knowledgeable staff will make sure you are taken care of. I should know because I've seen it firsthand. Every vehicle I've purchased has been from Hayes Nissan of Rivergate, and I love the entire process. Now, I don't want you to forget about their award-winning parts and service department. It has everything you need to get you back on the road. Go visit them on the web at nissanofrivergate.com. They're open there 24/7, 365 days a year. Or give them a call at 615-865-7220. Again, that number is 615-865-7220. That's Hayes Nissan of Rivergate, where your dollar always goes farther.
Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if a prescription is appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for full details and important safety information. Subscription required.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 90% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to 4hims.com/joy. At Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the biggest brands at 90% off. That's right, get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but 90% cheaper. It's the same medication you get from your doctor, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, 4hims.com/joy. That's 4hims.com/joy for your free online visit. FORHIMS.com/JOY.
Slim's Tender Mac Bowls are back. We start with a 3-cheese blend to make our delicious mac and top it with chopped hand-breaded tenders and Colby Jack cheese. Try the Tender Mac Bowl meal or the Buffalo Tender Mac Bowl meal, both served with Texas toast and a medium drink. But hurry, they're only around for a limited time. Download the Slim Chickens app to order and earn rewards.
It's the afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
You know what the Mets stand for?
Metropolitan.
Yeah, that one.
Metropolitan is a flavor of ice cream, right?
Neapolitan.
Oh, okay.
Was that real?
I mean, half and half.
Oh, man. You talk about throwing me off complete. My equator is gone.
The afternoon stretch. Afternoon stretch with Zach Williams and Bruno Reagan.
If you haven't heard, they got it done. They beat Iran 1-0. They advanced out of the group stage into the Sweet 16. Do they call it the Sweet 16 in the World Cup?
No, they don't.
Well, that's fine. I'm going to call it that.
Okay.
I don't care if they do or not.
I like Sweet 16. Pushback from
I
me.
like Sweet 16.
Fine with me.
Right?
Sure.
They will take on Netherlands Saturday morning at 10 a.m. Or is it 9 a.m. our time? 9 a.m. our time.
Okay.
9 o'clock on Saturday, they'll take on Netherlands. So we'll see. Can the U.S. keep this going? Walker Zimmerman of Nashville SC saved their bacon with probably a couple minutes left in the game.
As the ball was slowly
or the match
trickling towards the line there.
Yes.
And he was able to stop it.
With no one else in sight.
No.
That was going in. And Zimmerman came sliding across and booted it out of there. So, boy, that was close. 615-844-5600 is how you can get in touch with us. Let's go down the road a bit and stop in Antioch. Bob is standing by. Bob, what's up?
The Predators are on the outside looking in right now as far as playoffs are concerned, and isn't the American Thanksgiving supposed to be one of the benchmarks in terms of whether you get in or not?
Yep.
So, I feel like I'm a glass half full person. What have you seen from the team that gives you hope that they might get in, and what concerns you? My biggest concern is their lack of speed. They just seem a lot slower than some of the top-tier teams, and I was just curious about what your assessment is.
Well, one of my concerns is, Bob, every time I try to go to a game, something happens. Like I was going to go Friday and Saturday, and we know how that turned out. Yeah. I'm going tonight, so let's keep our fingers crossed that they play this game. They're supposed to, and they should beat Anaheim, in my opinion. So what did you say? You said speed?
You said lack of speed.
Lack of speed.
They
seem speed
rather
or
slow.
lack of is a concern.
Lack of speed. They just seem like they're a step slow when they go up against a lot. And I thought we were supposed to be one of the youngest teams in the league. Is that still true?
Well, they're not one of the they cut. Remember, they were one of the oldest teams in the league, and then they became one of the younger teams in the league. But then you add Ryan McDonough, and you add Nino Niederreiter, and at the time Zach Sanford, who's gone but are not currently on the roster. So they added some age. So yeah, they're not one of the youngest teams. I don't know where they rank, and they're still probably on the younger side, but they're not where they were, like you said, when they literally flipped the script going from one of the oldest to one of the youngest.
Right. Our speed used to be one of our strengths.
Yep.
And instead now it doesn't look that. That might be why we're getting some of these hooking penalties and things like that, because we have no other choice but to try to slow them down.
I'd like to see special teams get better because, Bob, I have no faith, and you tell me if you do, because this has been going on for years since John Hines has been the coach. They can't stay out of the box.
I totally agree.
And so it's very clear that it's not going to change. So if it's not going to change, then you better make sure you got a really, really good penalty kill. And they've had that over the years, but obviously we know that's not the case so far this year.
Right. What do you see as their strength and maybe a reason for optimism that they might climb back in it? Or do you see anything right now?
Well, what's crazy is, and I think we've talked about this with you, and I told you I felt kind of dumb the last, one of the times when you called in, because I felt pretty confident they were going to get things turned around, and then they went on a big losing streak, and I'm like, what the heck? I think what the optimism is I know they're just 20 games in, so they're basically they're at the quarter pole, right? They've put in 25% of their season.
Yeah.
Their roster is talented. They're not dealing with a ton of injuries. Hold on. That's knocking on wood. They're not dealing with all that where they're getting like the Titans the last 2 years where, they've got injuries left and right, and you're like, who's this guy? Who's that guy? And they're constantly calling up guys from Milwaukee or signing guys. The optimism is you've got UC Saros. You've got Roman Yossi. You've got Philip Forsberg. You've got, Matt Duchene, who had 43 goals last year. You've got, by the way, I do like the move of Yossi and McDonough. I think McDonough, it's looked a whole lot better, right? I mean, I thought McDonough was a great signing or trade. And then early on in the season, I was like, oh, this is not what I thought it was going to look like, right? So the optimism is they've got talented players. I'm not sure what's missing. I'm not sure why it's not gelling, why they haven't taken off and, got on a heater and won, 8 of 9.
Right. Right. Yeah, they need to. They need maybe over the next 20. What do you think? 12 wins, something like that. You think that would be a good sign?
Go on the plus side here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, no doubt. I mean, I keep waiting for it to come together, and by the way, here's the other part that concerns me. And I don't know if you feel the same way. They haven't looked good on the road at all. The road games just
numbers
it's
are
like,
terrible.
oh boy.
They're awful.
At times not even competitive.
No.
That concerns me.
Well, then they're going on a very difficult road trip after tonight, aren't they?
This is the last game, obviously, of the month, and then December they go, New Jersey, Islanders, Tampa to start off December.
Oh. That's a tough one.
And then they're going to spend some time in December on the road. So, I mean, cross your fingers and hope that their success or lack of so far on the road changes in the month of December.
Right. Right. Well, I hope so. I hope it starts tonight.
Yep. Yes, sir. Appreciate the phone call.
Thanks, Bob.
Yeah.
And hopefully this happens. Yeah, we'll come back. We'll step away final time, come back and wrap up Tuesday's edition of the McFarland Show next.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The patented key ingredient is something called Testofen, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text STAPLE to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text STAPLE to 321-321. That's STAPLE to 321-321.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Hey guys, it's Zach. Give the gift of play with the team at Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville. Stop in and stock up on a huge selection of new and gently used gear and equipment. Maybe you need some cash for the holidays. If you have too many bikes, inline skates, hockey, or other sports gear that you don't use anymore or it doesn't fit, get cash on the spot for your unused gear at Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville. They have the trained staff to help you sell your gear and help you find the perfect gift for the holidays, like a new baseball bat, lacrosse stick, yoga and workout gear, or equipment for a home gym. Or maybe you're like me and you love perusing golf clubs. Go check out what they have in their used inventory. I'm always in the Hendersonville store checking out their used golf clubs. So get cash for your holiday gifts when you sell your gear at Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville. And make sure to tell them Zach from Nashville Sports Radio sent you. That's Play It Again Sports in Brentwood and Hendersonville.
Greg Pogue back once again to tell you about Bongo Java, Nashville's oldest and most celebrated coffee company, now also located in the Omni Nashville Hotel. Reward yourself for surviving Nashville traffic with fresh, locally roasted coffee, classic handcrafted espresso drinks, and fresh baked goods all day long. And free Wi-Fi, so you don't have to work from home. Number one in customer service. You made it through the traffic. Reward yourself with a perfect pick-me-up at Bongo Java. Fresh coffee, delicious treats, great atmosphere. Open 6 a.m. until 2 p.m. daily. Bongo Java at the Omni Nashville Hotel.
It's a Bill King Show.
If Nick coached another 7-8 years, I would not be shocked at all. I wouldn't be. Now, I'm not predicting it because I don't think you can predict that kind of thing. We don't know that. If he coached to 80, I would not be flabbergasted.
Weekday mornings beginning at 6 on Sports Radio 560 on 95.9 FM.
Back here on the McFarland Show, Preds and Ducks tonight. Last night it was the Steelers. I asked you at the end of the show, who wins, and you said Pittsburgh. And I said, why? And you're like, Mike Tomlin.
Mike Tomlin over Jeff Saturday. I heard a stat last night, and I don't know if this is true, but I certainly heard it from one of the Steelers folks. So I would trust it. Mike Tomlin over his career, 19-3 on Monday Night Football.
Wow.
19-3.
It's a good little stat. You should have.
I didn't know that at the time.
Doing a FanDuel read, you should throw that out there.
Jeez.
All
right, a quick question in our remaining moments here about the Nashville Predators I have for you, wise one, about the Preds. And that is, who is it that the Predators are and who is it that they want to be? Do the Titans have an identity that is wrapped around Derrick Henry and being Mr. Tough Guy? And we all know that. They're tough. We know they're tough. They're tough. They're bullies. They're physical. We got it. We got the memo. Who are the Predators, and who do they want to be?
Well, they probably want to be the Colorado Avalanche because they won the Cup.
Well, okay. Besides wanting to be the Stanley Cup champions, Captain Obvious.
And before that, it would have been the Tampa Bay Lightning.
Yes. Okay. So they want to lift the cup at center ice at the end of the season.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Is number one goal.
That's fantastic. Every team wants to win the Lombardi. Gotcha. How do they want to do it, at least? Who is it that they want to be on the ice besides Stanley Cup champion?
Well, I mean, you've seen it. I mean, this is what John Hines is. They want to be strong on the forecheck. They want to be physical. And they want to let you know that, you're not going to just come in there and push them around. And they're going to try to dictate. They haven't been able to.
But that's not.
I know.
That's not
I
who
understand.
they've been.
And Bob brings up a good point. A lot of times, you can also, if you can get the speed element and the nasty element, now you're cooking with gas, right?
Yeah.
But it's hard to do. A lot of times, teams that want to get really, really physical is why. Because they want to slow things down, right? I mean, why do you think the Titans play the brand? I mean, Mike Vrabel said it. We play this because this is who we have to be.
Yeah.
We can't be the Kansas City Chiefs.
No.
We can't be the Buffalo Bills.
They can't go 5 wide and throw the ball.
Right, we can't.
Yeah.
We don't have that roster.
Yeah.
Again, I keep bringing this up. I'm sorry to keep beating the same drum, but until you get, a Nathan McKinnon, until you get a Connor McDavid, until you get Sidney Crosby in his prime, until you get that guy that changes a game alone, they can take over a game. They can dictate a game. You have to do things differently. And this is how they're trying to do it. But right now, it's not working to the consistent levels that they wanted to.
A lot of the things that you have said just now, I wouldn't identify with this hockey team that we've seen so far.
Well, I mean, what do you think? I mean, they want to be.
As far as what?
I just
as
told
far as
you
who
they want to be. They want to be strong on the forecheck. They want to be physical.
I mean,
they want to be good on the back end, which at times has not been great this year, right?
No.
That's always been their strength. Things on the back end, defense, in net.
No. Well, yes, at times.
At times, yes.
Yes.
At times, not so much.
Yeah. But they got to get out of their own zone there. They spend a lot of time over there.
They do.
They got to get on the other end of the ice.
Too much time in their own zone.
You can't do that.
No, you can't be playing on your heels the whole
No.
game or for a whole period.
Yeah, you're playing defense the whole period.
And you're playing with fire is what you're doing.
The whole period. You're playing defense. That doesn't work for anybody.
I thought my first answer was a better one. It was a lot funnier. But, yeah, that's probably the real answer.
That's true.
All right, that'll do it for our show today. Have a great and safe Tuesday. Afternoon Stretch is next.
On air and online.